Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. Right now until it changes in the fall and then it goes weird. Anyway, but right now it's 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. I am proud to be sponsored by BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They are an online counseling company. They are international. So if you need a therapist and you can't get into a therapist in your country, you can get on to BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. I will put it down into the description. And you fill out a few questions and they will pair you with a therapist here in the States. Also, all of the therapists are licensed in their state and they are master's level or PhD level. So that is very, very cool. So if you live in a rural town or you're in a town and you don't like the therapist there and you don't want to have to drive 1,000 million miles to get to another therapist, get on to BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez and they will pair you with a therapist in your state. So that is very cool and I'm very grateful that they are my sponsor. Okay, today's questions. How do you not confront them yet not tolerate the behavior? You can't change them, guys. I did a show about this a few weeks ago. You cannot change them. They are never going to change. So if their behavior is egregious, you leave. You leave. You don't stick around for it. They start raging, you turn around, you walk out. Or you gray rock. You do whatever you need to do to stay safe because confronting them is not going to get you what you want. You also don't want to stick around and allow the behavior either. So you just don't stick around. You get out. So, and of course, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I can't, I'm financially dependent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they do that on purpose. They make the targets of abuse dependent on them so that they can't leave. So that's when you want to get to Catholic Charities and look into My Sister's Place, which is a domestic violence shelter. You want to get to Fresh Start Women's Resource Center. This is all in Arizona. I don't know what's in other states. So Fresh Start Women's Resource Center, they have housing, they have lawyers, they have, the lawyers can't represent you in court, but they can help you fill out paperwork. You want to get as much social services as you can and get away. Get out, because you're not going to change them. They're just going to keep doing whatever they're doing. So for example, if one starts raging, you leave. And if somebody starts raging at me, I turn around and walk out. If somebody insults me, I turn around and walk out. I don't stick around. I don't put up with it. They have no audience then. And of course they'll get pissed off because you're not, playing their game and, you're not being their audience, but oh well. So yeah, confronting them is not going to get you what you want. You keep thinking that. It's not going to. It's not. So you leave, you get out, you get away from them. The worst thing you can do to somebody who is abusive is not even have them come into your head. You have no thoughts of them. You don't think about them. You're not dealing with them. You're not talking to them. They're essentially dead to you. And that is the worst thing you can do to them because they need to be the center of attention. They need to be in your head all the time. That's what they want. So yeah, the worst thing you can do to them, walk out, leave, live your life, be happy. The best revenge is living well without them. So yeah. Question number 2, is it normal to leave a therapy session in tears? Well, what I do when my clients get to tears, because it can happen, you're dealing with heavy duty stuff, you're dealing with family of origin stuff, is that I will save the last 10, 15 minutes of the session to bring them back so that they're able to go on with their day and not, tearful, upset, crying, sad, the whole thing. So it's kind of like, we get to the meat and bones of it. There may be some tears. And then the last 10, 15 minutes, I make sure that they come out of it and they're able to carry on with their day. Can it happen that they leave in tears? Yeah, it can. If we're dealing with particularly heavy duty stuff, and it's just, nothing I say can help them come out of it, then yeah, sometimes they will leave in tears. But if you're leaving in tears every single time, and your therapist is not trying to help you come back out to, face the rest of your day, then Houston, there is a problem. So yeah, I mean, tears are to be expected in therapy when you're dealing with heavy duty trauma. Abso-freaking-lutely, you know, or any other emotion. You know, you shouldn't be shocked by any strong emotion that comes up with trauma therapy. But your therapist should be helping you to, okay, we've processed all of that. Are you okay? Take a deep breath. You know, I'm really proud of you. That was some really great work today. Here's what I would like you to focus in on, you know, getting you moving forward out of that memory, out of that thing into the present moment. So that's what they should be doing. They should be transitioning you from the therapy session into, you know, good job. Here's the homework. Breathe. Are you okay? Okay, I want you to do self-care. I want you to, you know, coming back to the present moment and moving forward. So they should be doing that. And if they're not, they should. And if they're not, then maybe you need to look for a different therapist. Okay, how do you transition from lonely to enjoying being alone? It truly is self-esteem. People who like themselves like spending time with themselves. They like their thoughts. And that is kind of a foreign concept to people who have come out of abusive relationships, because we're so used to the abuser, you know, bad mouthing, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, and what if, and the internal critic going off and doing its crazy Watusi. You know, we're so used to that we're not used to the cheerleader. And when you start working on self-esteem, the Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn Schiraldi, Boundaries with The Disease to Please by Harriet Breaker, your thoughts start changing and your thoughts become kinder and nicer. And that's when you transition from, oh my gosh, I can't be alone because I don't like what's going on up here, to I'm okay with being alone. I actually like my own thoughts. They're actually kind. I like this. So that's how you start transitioning, is you start working on self-esteem and boundaries. And you call out that internal critic. You do not allow it to bully you. If it says anything less than, I love you, good job, keep going, you tell it to shut up. And you replace it immediately with the positive. So if it starts going, what if, nope, thank you. I am not living in a future that has not happened yet. If it starts doing the not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, no thank you. I am good enough. Why? Because I say so. I am the boss of you. You are not the boss of me. So you assert yourself. Mirror work. Hi, good to see you. Have a great day. You know what? It's okay to go out by yourself. It's okay to go have lunch by yourself. It's okay. You like you, it's okay, and then walk out. And that's how we do it. That's how we do it, is reprogramming. Reprogramming. What we say to ourselves is hugely important because our subconscious will believe it. If you tell yourself that something's going to be hard and it's horrible and it's awful and it's terrible and it's nasty, then guess what? You're going to approach that as it's hard and awful and horrible and terrible and nasty. If you go, okay, it's going to be a challenge, but you know what? I can do it. Then your subconscious goes, oh, it's a challenge, but you can do it. So it's very important to be very careful how you say things to yourself. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, that answers those. Why do abusers use kids as pawns in a divorce? Because they know it's going to hurt the spouse the most. Parents, good parents, empathic parents, love their children and want their children to be healthy, happy, and whole. And they want to love their children and they want their children to love them back. What an abuser will do is they will do parental alienation, and they will start filling that kid's head full of stuff about the sane spouse. And because the kid is afraid of the abuser, they will take it out on the safer target, is essentially what happens. So it's not safe to confront the abuser, so they turn around and take out their anger, their angst, their anxiety on the safer target, and that's when the abuser really starts applying that parental alienation. It's a way to manipulate, it's a way to control, and it's a way to hurt the spouse, and that's really what they're looking for because they want to win at all costs. And I do mean all costs. They don't care what happens to their own kids even. They would rather screw up their kid and create this lifelong antagonistic relationship with the other spouse than to have the kids love the other spouse and have a healthy, happy, normal relationship. So there that is. Can you please explain what fleas are? So fleas are behaviors that we have picked up from the dysfunctional family. So it's behaviors. It's just behaviors that we don't like. So for example, let's say that there was somebody in the family who was very, very dramatic and always made a big, deal about losing a wallet or losing a purse. So you may find yourself, when you misplace your wallet or your purse, putting on a production worthy of, Cecil B. DeMille, 1950s big, Moses kind of, biblical 3.5 hour dear Lord movie. So, you might find yourself doing that. So that's a flea. It's like, you don't have to get dramatic over losing a wallet or a purse. So it's a choice. Then you go, oh, wait a minute. Who did this? My dad did this. My mom did this. I don't need to do this. This is a behavior I don't want. This is a flea. I'm going to squish it. So it's just behaviors that we pick up from the abuser that we don't want. So, for example, a lot of times when targets of abuse come out of a relationship, a romantic relationship, they will find that they have a little bit of snark. And that's because the abuser was snarky. So when you catch yourself being snarky and that's not who you are, that's when you go, whoa, 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 that's not who I am. Who is this? No, that's them. That's not me. Squish it, squish it, squish it. You squish it, squish the flea, get rid of it. So it's behaviors that you picked up from the abuser that you no longer wish to do. Can you please explain more about the head, the heart, and the gut? Okay. The head and the heart tell stories. Head and the heart tell stories. These guys tell stories. If you ask your head something, it'll go, well, yes, but, and then a huge story. If you ask your heart something, well, yes or no, but, and then a huge story. If you ask your gut a simple yes or no question, it will give you a simple, calm, yes or no answer, no story. So you practice that with things that you already know that you know. So for example, I hate peanut butter. I hate it. It's the texture. I don't know what it is about the texture of peanut butter, but dear Lord, I just can't stand it. But I love Reese's peanut butter cups. So if I ask my gut, do I like peanut butter? It is literally almost like a gag response. It's like, oh God, no, I don't like peanut butter. But if I ask my gut, do I like Reese's peanut butter cups? Yes, I do. And it's calm. There's no story to it. There's no drama. There's no yes, but, no, but, none of that. It's just simple yes or no answer. So you start practicing with things that you already know the answer to and feel how it feels in your gut. Feel how it feels in your solar plexus. Feel how it feels in your body. You want to get back to being able to trust your instincts, trust your gut instincts. Yes or no. Do I do this? Yes or no. No story. No story. That is the danger with the head and the heart, is that they tell this big story and the next thing you know, you're completely confused and verklempt and you don't know what to do. And then the abuser swoops in and takes advantage of that. So you want to really get used to trusting your gut. Listen to your gut. Yes or no answers. Practice with things that you already know the answer to. So yeah. Do I have to forgive? No, you do not. Forgiveness is not about the other person. And this is where everybody gets all crazy go nuts. So you don't have to forgive. You absolutely don't. What they did was heinous. Do I forgive my dad for what he did? No, I absolutely, he was wrong. Absolutely. However, I am not going to let him live up here rent free, and I'm not going to keep trying to punish him by being angry at him all the time, which is what I used to do. So forgiveness is really not about the other person. It's about us letting it go. And I don't mean letting it go as in, oh, it never happened. Oh, no, absolutely it happened. Absolutely it was the wrong thing for them to do. Absolutely it was abusive. And it's no longer my problem. I am away from them. I do not have to fix them, heal them, mend them, whatever. It's beyond my means. And I also don't need them in my life. So the difference between compassion and idiot compassion. So this is a Buddhist concept. So compassion is where you can look at somebody, like my dad, and go, wow, screwed up childhood, alcoholic dad, beat him until he bled. Wow, that sucks. That sucks to be you. So compassion. I understand what, nature, nurture. Okay, there was a little bit of nature there, but then the nurture, I'm sure, pushed the guy over the edge. So, okay, I have compassion. I can see that sucked. That's a really heavy lifetime for you to have chosen, or whatever your particular belief is. So, okay, I have compassion for that. That sucks, right? Idiot compassion would be going, oh, I see all of that, and I'm going to continue to have you in my life, even though I know you're abusive, because I want to have compassion for you. That's idiot compassion. So I left home when I was 17, and I left home because it was the only sane and safe thing to do. I could not stay in that environment any longer. To stay would have been idiot compassion. It would have made my mom happy for sure, but to stay would have been idiot compassion. So what you want to do is you want to have compassion, but you also are cutting the cords, letting it go. You're not allowing them to control you with the abuse anymore, even though the abuse has stopped, So is that forgiveness? Some people call it forgiveness, So it's kind of more like, hey, it happened. I've learned a lesson from it. It was a terrible lesson. I really don't ever want to have to go through that again. However, it has given me knowledge that I would not have had otherwise, and I let them go with love. It's like, go, you're still an ass, but there it is. So you let them go. So compassion is not what we think it is. So everybody thinks compassion is like you have to, or forgiveness, that you have to forget what was done. No, it's you remember it. It absolutely happened, but you don't let them in your life. It's like, okay, good luck, God bless, go do you. I'm going to go do me, and you keep them out of your life. That's compassion. Idiot compassion is having them continually come back in. And that's where I think forgiveness has gotten a bad rap, is because people go, oh, I forgive you, but then they allow themselves to get drawn back into the abuser's orbit, and then the abuser abuses again, and then they forgive, and then the abuser abuses again. So it's not really about that kind of forgiveness. That's idiot compassion. So it's more about, deep breath. I don't need to fix you. I don't need to heal you. I don't need to, I can be angry at you. Absolutely. I can see that what you did was wrong. I also understand why you did what you did, given your family history and your nature nurture. Hello. But I don't need you in my life, and I don't need you up here. So that's healthy forgiveness. That is like a letting go, separating, detaching. That's another Buddhist concept, detaching. It is what it is. Let it go. You let them go live their life. You go live yours. You live your best life. That is the best way to forgive. That really is, because it's like no energy. It's like there's no energy on it. So yeah, but you don't need to forgive in the traditional way. It's like I still hold my dad 100% accountable for what he did. He did what he did. Period. Do I like him? No. Would I ever want to spend another lifetime with him? Absolutely not. And it's like me continuing to, scream and rail and get angry and, everything else after I've done all this work. No, that's not going to do any good either. So it's kind of like, okay, goodbye. You go do you wherever you are. He's dead now, but you go do you wherever you are, and I'm going to live my best life. And that's what we should all be doing, is living our best life and detaching. So that's forgiveness. So forgiveness is not the Judeo-Christian, I forgive you, I'm going to forget this. That's unhealthy. That is massively unhealthy. You got to remember what happened, because if you don't, the abuser will come back and start gaslighting. Oh, that never happened. I never did that. Blah, blah, blah. So there's a difference between healthy forgiveness and unhealthy forgiveness. So I hope that makes it clear. Okay. I want closure. Okay. Well, you're not going to get it. I'm sorry. Closure is a myth. So, and I suspect this is what keeps a lot of us stuck in the resentment and the anger and wanting that apology. You're never going to get an apology from them. They do not have the empathy code in them. They don't know how to be a human being. They do not. And if they do give you an apology, it is going to be a narcissistic apology. It is going to be along the lines of, I'm sorry I'm sorry but, I'm sorry you made me, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's not a heartfelt, oh my God, I hurt you, I own that. Acknowledgement, ownership, accountability, and it will never happen again. How can I make amends? What do you need? So it's not about them, it's about you. That's a real apology. It's about you. What do you need? How can I make amends? I own this, I did this. How can I make amends? How can I fix this? That's a real apology. They won't do that. You'll never get it. You're going to have to learn to live with the apology that you never received. And that's where writing and burning letters really comes in. You get it all out. We have a right to be angry. Yes, absolutely. And when you work it through and let it go, then the anger gets less and less and less and less. I mean, I can talk about my dad now, like I said, without, it's more like, wow, sucks to be him, that kind of thing. So, you're not going to get closure. You're not going to get the understanding or the why or the mea culpa. You're not going to get any of that. And if they do give you a mea culpa, it is not going to be a real mea culpa. It's going to be a narcissistic mea culpa. So don't trust it. To get closure, you should write and burn letters and start working on self-esteem. Start working on boundaries. Start working on your list of deal breakers. What from this relationship would you never put up with again? Lying, cheating, gaslighting, rewriting history, disrespect, isolating you from family and friends. Those are all deal breakers. So that's a good way to start getting closure, is to make yourself bulletproof. Absolutely. Because you're not going to get it from the other person. Again, that is external. You're looking outside of you for that. It's never going to happen. You got to get it from in here. They're not going to be the knight in shining armor or the princess in shining armor that's going to come down from the mountaintop and make it all better. They're not. Because let me just say this, and I'm going to say it twice here. People who truly love you do not abuse you. Let me say that again. People who truly love you do not gaslight, do not lie, do not cheat, do not steal, do not call names, do not hit, do not isolate family and friends, do you see where I'm going with that? So to expect them to act like a decent human being at the end, unrealistic. You're not going to get the closure you're looking for from them. You can only get it from you. So start working on self-esteem, start working on boundaries, start doing mirror work, get with a good trauma therapist, absolutely, and let go of this fantasy that they're going to apologize or that they're going to get it or that they're going to give you a reason or that they're going to reassure you or anything else. Nope, it's got to come from in here. So let them go. Okay, what is self-esteem? So self-esteem is that little tiny voice. It's a little tiny cheerleader inside of our head that just says, hey, I like you. Good job. Keep going. That's it. That's all self-esteem is it's positive self-regard. It's positive things that we say to ourselves all the time, and we're not even aware of it. When we work on our self-esteem to the point where that becomes the go-to, we're not even aware that we're like, oh, it's okay. Oh, good job. Oh, da-da-da. Do you see where I'm going? Whereas the internal critic is the abuser's voice, probably shoved in there from family of origin. And it's not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, or it's what if, and it's just vicious. So self-esteem comes from inside, okay? It's not other esteem. Other esteem comes from external. You don't want other esteem because that's codependent. That's leaning on somebody else to tell you you're okay. You need you to tell you you're okay. That's why the mirror work is so important. Hi, good to see you. Have a great day. I give you permission to like yourself, and then walk out. And you do that every day, and it becomes a habit. And pretty soon that becomes internalized. You don't even need to think about it. You start telling yourself that. So, okay. Why won't they be loved into health? Because there is no there there. There is no there there. There is not enough of a real person there to accept or to reciprocate love. It is all ego. At the point where they are now abusing, so remember everything is on a spectrum, traits of all the way to dark triad, right? At the point where they are abusing and they are harming and hurting intentionally and lying, gaslighting, rewriting history, etc., their ego is so great. It is so great that they are unwilling to take accountability for anything. They are unwilling to accept responsibility for anything. In their minds, they are perfect. They've never done a damn thing wrong in their entire lives. And yeah, and there's no there there. A healthy, normal person is able to go, what's my part of this? What do I need to clean up? What do I need to do? How do I make this better? Whereas the narcissist is, get down on your knees and worship me, kind of thing, because I'm perfect and I've never done anything wrong in my entire life. And that's all ego, because a healthy, normal person goes, yeah, none of us walk on water, unless it's frozen. So yeah, they can't be loved into health. I wish they could. Wouldn't that be lovely? It would be so nice. And I would be out of a job and I'd be running a bed and breakfast somewhere, preferably in a Victorian. So, it would just not haunted though. It would be, unless it's an old lady haunt who makes cookies. It would be, I'm sorry, squirrel, end of a long day. It would be lovely if they could be loved into health, but they can't. You cannot love them into health. First of all, they won't accept it. Second of all, they will discount you, and they will, you know, you're wrong, they're right, you know, there's nothing wrong with them, they're not going to go to therapy, they're not, you know, that whole thing. You cannot love them into health. You can't. Even telling them, hey, I really love you and I want you to be happy, what they will do is their ego, their inner critic will hate you and want you dead for loving them. It's seriously, that is how they work. So the more you tell them you love them and how wonderful you think they are, the more they are going to sabotage you, isolate you from family, verbally abuse you, because they're going to show you that they're not worth the love. And that's what they do over and over and over and over again. I've been doing this for years. This is what they all do. So they cannot be loved into health. They won't have it. They don't tolerate it. They don't like it. Really. I mean, they, on the one hand, that's what they want. They want compliance with their every wish. They want compliance with their desires and their demands. But the second the target shows any emotion, really any true emotion, they come unglued. They can't handle it because they don't feel it. And they get angry when we express love to them because they can't feel it. And so it pisses them off, and then they want us dead, either spiritually, physically, emotionally. They want us dead because they're that angry that, you know, they can't, that's the one thing they can't have. And that's why they have us in their life in the first place. They are attracted to people who have the things that they cannot possess. And they think that by osmosis, they're going to suddenly feel and be normal and be happy and everything else. And instead they don't. And then they get angry and they take it out and they try to kill, spiritually kill, physically kill the target that they are with. So, you know, I've seen it over and over again. Somebody who is happy-go-lucky and laughing all the time, by the end of the relationship, family and friends didn't recognize them. They were sad, they were depressed, they didn't laugh, they were no longer happy-go-lucky, they were worried, they were anxious. You know, that's a soul kill. You know, other relationships I've seen, the target of abuse was diabetic, and the abuser was shoving candy and alcohol and everything else that would kill a diabetic. So yeah, they absolutely want their targets of abuse dead. It's a power trip to them. Look what I did. Look what I could do. That's all ego. That is all ego. Okay. Why do you say it's so important to watch how you say things? So it's neuro-linguistic programming. So neuro-linguistic programming is how you say it is how it turns out. And it's true. So when clients sit on the couch and go, oh, this is hard, this is going to be hard, I go, stop. If you tell yourself it's going to be hard, it is in fact going to be hard, because we listen to what we say all the time and the subconscious sets about to make it happen. How many times have we woken up and said, oh, today's gonna suck, I don't even want to do today, today's gonna suck, and then the day sucks? Well, you've told your subconscious, hey, today's gonna suck. And so what the subconscious does is goes, oh, okay, kids, she wants a sucky day, let's do a sucky day now, okay? Okay, fabulous. Seriously, that's what the subconscious does. If you wake up and you go, hey, good morning, have a great day. I give you permission to have an awesome day. Go work on yourself. Go love yourself. Go be awesome. You're going to have a great day. Why? Because the subconscious is going, wait a minute, wait, hold on. She wants a good day, guys. Let's make it a good day. Okay, good. We got this? Okay, great. And then it's a good day. So truly, how you say it is how our subconscious makes it turn out. So you must be very meticulous in what you say, how you say it to yourself. If you're constantly negative, it's so funny because I have clients that will be constantly negative, right? And everything they say, and they'll be like, I don't understand why I'm always in such a bad mood. And I'm like, let's review the first 5 minutes of the session. You said your days suck. You said you hate this. You said you hate that. You said, you know, and I'm just, can you see how negative that is? And getting them to see that and then start working on catching it before they tell themselves that. So you have to catch it. You know, as soon as you catch yourself saying something really negative and nasty, you've got to be like, okay, stop. It's not the end of the world. Stop. You know, so you don't want to do toxic positivity either. So I just want to be very clear about that. But you also don't want to allow that inner critic to just run rampant and everything is bad, right? Because then everything will be bad. So you've got to be able to go, wait, stop catastrophizing. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Do you see where I'm going? Middle of the road, middle of the road. So that's why I say how you say things really does impact on how your day turns out. So yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. So that is all the questions that I have for today. So on Sunday, we are going to be talking about the subtle red flags that people don't necessarily pick up on. So, you know, nonverbals. We're going to be talking about nonverbal clues. We're going to be talking about actions more than words, and not overt actions either. These are the subtle things that you should be looking for. So that'll be on Sunday. So we're going to be talking about the subtle red flags. And I think that's going to be the title of it, is the subtle red flags. So I would like to thank again my sponsor, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys on Sunday. All right, guys, have a great week. Bye.